Hello everyone and welcome back to Why Do I Look So Wrinkly? I got a possible solution, just throwing one out there. Plastic surgery. Botox here, Botox here. Anyway, hello everyone and welcome back to The Something Show. Today we're talking about parasocial relationships. They are real and I hate to break it to you, but you have them and I have them. Pretty crazy, I know, but let's think about it for a second. Every time you watch a TV show, every time you watch a movie, let's say, okay, a movie, right? And you find a character that you really like, that you're really invested in. Especially, let's go with a TV show for now. You're watching that TV show and there's one character in particular that you really like. And they're your favorite character. You can relate to them, you think about them, you pretend they're there while you eat at the dinner table, just normal stuff, right? Then on top of that, you love this character so much that you go and look at the actor that plays the character and you now love them. And by love, I don't mean you're legitimately in love with them. Some people, they get a little creepy with characters. But you just love this actor. They're a funny person. They're charismatic. They're good in front of a camera. That is a parasocial relationship. And if you don't know, that is really common. I mean really, really common. So common, in fact, that it's become a sort of buzzword, especially on TikTok. If you ever see a video on TikTok, and granted I'm not on TikTok that much, only about 3 to 4 hours a day. If you're on TikTok, you will probably eventually see a video about a streamer or a YouTuber or something like that. Boom, 100 comments saying, oh my gosh, I can't stand these parasocial fans, etc., etc. It's become a buzzword, a negative word to say, you're creepy, dude. You're too invested in this person you don't know's life. And that's true. We shouldn't be getting too invested in all this stuff. But with all this buzzing that the word does. Okay, full disclosure, I don't really know what buzzword means. No, I'm just kidding. I do know what it means. But with all this buzzing of the buzzword, there's sort of a negative connotation. And the word in itself, parasocial, sounds terrible. Sounds like an evil word. But if you think about it, how are you supposed to avoid watching TV without developing a parasocial relationship? That's literally why they make the characters. They want you to relate to them. When you are watching this video, technically, I want you to form a parasocial relationship with me. It's just the truth, because I want you to relate to me. I want you to enjoy the things I say and laugh when I make my incredibly funny jokes. And in that, you gotta be careful with that, because I've had a couple of people, and I wouldn't necessarily say they were obsessed with me, but they might have, commented on a few tens of videos asking me, like, creepy questions, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Creepy questions to the point that I have to block them. I don't want to get too far off on a tangent, but that goes to show you parasocial relationships can get bad, and they often do, because sometimes they'll be enjoying a piece of media, a piece of content, anything, and I get to thinking, why am I watching an interview of the cast? Why am I on my third interview of the cast? Why am I watching them play Scrabble together? I don't know them. I don't, and sometimes they'll even be like, oh man, it'll be so cool to be friends with XYZ. I have to slap myself in the face, because what am I talking about? That's weird. It's weird, but it's normal. If you're gonna get into the comments typing, oh, I've never done that before, you're lying. You're lying. And I've kind of lied too. I kind of say I don't form those sort of relationships, or I kind of look down upon the fact that people are so invested in these types of things. Because I go and look at the Oscars. I'm gonna be fully honest. I looked away as if I was trying to think of something on the spot. I had this planned out. We're talking about the Oscars. Every year, the Oscars happen. There are a lot of actors that are doing good performances, that are gunning for awards, and fans love that. They get so invested in it. Now I look at this and I say, why is this such a big deal that people get mad about it? When their favorite actor that they have a parasocial relationship doesn't win, they get mad. And when they get mad, they get to typing on the TikTok and the X. And also Instagram threads. Now looking from the outside in, I was like, wow, that is stupid. That is so stupid. It's one thing to enjoy a character. It's one thing to enjoy a movie. It's one thing to enjoy a character. It's even one thing to enjoy an actor. But it's another thing to get mad over that actor who's playing a character winning an award. That's what I thought. And then I saw Sinners and Marty Supreme. Now I've already talked about Sinners on this channel. I basically made a whole video about it, because I really liked the movie. And after watching that movie, I was like, this guy Michael B. Jordan deserves an Oscar. Granted, The character in the movie doesn't know me. The other character he plays in the movie doesn't know me. Michael B. Jordan doesn't know me. But I enjoyed the movie so much that I wanted him to win an award, which isn't that such a strange thing? Then this movie Marty Supreme comes out, and I wanted to see it. I start hearing people talk about, oh my god, Timothée Chalamet deserves an Oscar for this. He starts winning awards. I think he won the Golden Globes or something. Now me, who previously said the Oscars are stupid, why are people so excited over this? Now I'm looking at Timothée Chalamet and Marty Supreme, and I'm like, he's no Michael B. Jordan. He didn't play two characters. And then I went to see Marty Supreme. I legitimately go into that movie. I went with my friends. I'm arguing already on Michael B. Jordan's behalf, saying he played two characters. How many did Marty Supreme play? One. And by golly, I watched that movie and I kind of started to like Timothée Chalamet. So now I've gone from lying to myself, saying I don't form parasocial relationships, to now rooting for two actors who, granted, their characters don't know me and they don't know me, to win an award which it will never affect me. And why do I do this? No, please tell me. Why do I do this? Why do we form these parasocial relationships? It doesn't make sense. Except, oh wait, it does. You think famous people are out here saying, oh, I hope people don't form parasocial relationships with me. No, and that's not necessarily because they're creepy. You know, some of the famous people, there's some bad apples out there. But actors and movie makers are looking for parasocial relationships, not because they're necessarily evil, but because how else are you supposed to enjoy any sort of media? They kind of rely on you forming a parasocial relationship to get you to enjoy the content, which makes them money. In my own life, I have both formed relationships with media characters that I see. That's also what I'm trying to do here. And I feel like I don't want to say parasocial because that feels wrong to say, but I want it to feel like there's a sort of relationship here. That's the goal of these videos. It's supposed to feel like a sort of FaceTime call, you know? You catch my drift? So moral of the story is parasocial relationships can be bad if you get creepy about it. Don't get all creepy about it, all right? I've seen some of you guys in the comments get all creepy about it. No one likes it, all right? No one likes it. So just understand that you're gonna form parasocial relationships. I'm gonna form parasocial relationships and be normal about it because it is a normal thing. Anyway, as long as I mention the fact that I kind of try to make it like a FaceTime on these videos, I gotta go to bed, or I gotta eat food, or I got to walk my dog, or I have to, what's another excuse I use when I get off of FaceTime? Or I don't want to talk to you anymore. Bye.